for you 1,000 times over. And this was the most heart-wrenching quote you could ever come across, and that was from the book The Kite Runner by Khalid Hosseini. Well, this was the most heart-wrenching book I have ever read. In this video, I'll be sharing the summary of this book. So it will be containing all the spoilers and the outline of the story. So if you haven't read this book yet and you think that you do not want to know the spoilers from this book, then please do not watch this video. Hello everyone, thanks so much for watching ATP, that is Among the Pages, where I talk about the books and the content written among their pages. Well, if you are for the first time here, then this is Achyut Murari. I am a medico from Uspania Medical College, plus a poet and a booktuber, and I talk about the books only because of my passion. Well, The Kite Runner is one of the most iconic books which has ever released. It was released in 2003 and the author was Khalid Hosseini, who was an Afghan origin author. The book is set in the 1960s of Afghanistan, where Afghanistan's culture and the people were very happy. They were culturally, politically rich, and they had abundant resources and were very happy-go-lucky guys in their lives. Well, this book registers the whole chronicles of how the events have changed, how the political situation in Afghanistan has changed, and how it has affected the small mindsets of the children who had this beautiful childhood in Afghanistan, but today it's nothing more than ruins because of a series of wars which have been waged over that land. Well, this book opens with the opening plot where Amir, that is the protagonist, receives a letter from a person called Rahim Khan. Well, Rahim Khan is Amir's father's best friend. Well, in this book, let me introduce to the characters first so that you can actually understand what the story plot way better. The first character and the most important one is Amir, from whose perspective the whole book is actually told. And the second most important character is Hassan, is Amir's best friend, and he is the reason why this whole plot has taken huge amounts of turns and twists. Well, the third most important character is Baba. Baba is Amir's father, and he is the most influential man of Afghanistan. He is known for his sturdiness and high amount of courage, and he is one of the elite class people residing in Afghanistan. Then the next character is Ali, who is Hassan's father, and Hassan's father, that is Ali, is actually a friend of Baba again, and Ali and Hassan are actually servants in the house of Amir and his father. So these were the basic characters, and the next supporting characters are Soraya, who is Amir's wife in the later, and General Tahiri, who is Soraya's father, and then the most important character comes in the last part of the book, that is Sorab, who is Hassan's son. Before you try to understand the core plot of the book, I would like to share some of the research information which I have obtained. Well, this is also partly described in the book, but I wanted it to be more clear so as to understand what has actually prompted the author to write in such a way, and it was really heart-wrenching. The major important turn of events in Afghanistan was during its 1960s and 1970s. During the 1960s, the Afghanistan was a richly, highly cultured area with this lot of happy-go-lucky people, and they were culturally and politically rich. Well, there was a turn of events during the 1970s because of the invasions of Soviet Union, and this has prompted a huge loss in the Afghanistani community. It has destroyed the peace among the people, and people were forced to flee to any other countries so as to stay safe or as an asylum. Well, the other scenario which you need to know before you try to read this book is the difference between the two sects of the Islamic community, and that is the Shias and the Sunnis. Well, the Sunnis, which are of the elite class in Afghanistan, are called the Pashtuns. And they claim that Afghanistan is their hereditary land and it is of their own property, and they call it Watan, and they do not want to share it with any other. And the Shias, who are of lesser population and are considered generally weak, are called the Hazaras. Well, the whole plot surrounds and entwines around these two sects, and it clashes between these two sects of the people living in Afghanistan. Well, this is the basic information which I thought of to convey you before you try to read this book. Well, coming to the core plot now. As I have already said, the opening scene is where Amir receives a letter from a person called Rahim Khan, who is his Baba's friend. And in that, Rahim Khan states that he need to come to Pakistan so as to discuss something. Well, Amir actually stays in California of USA at the opening of the book. While reading this letter, Amir recalls all his past, and that is where the actual narration of the whole book begins. So, as we all know, this is set in Afghanistan. So Amir is actually a hardcore Afghanistani, and he has his friend called Hassan, who has a cleft lip, that is a hair lip. Amir, along with his father Baba, whose name is not revealed in the book, stay in a big mansion, and they have all facilities. So as they are Pashtuns, they are of high order and they are of elite class, and they are respected by all people in Afghanistan. Well, in the same house, they are being served by Hassan and his father Ali. Hassan and Ali are actually Hazaras, that is Shias. So these people are considered generally weak, and so they are of the working class. Amir's mother passes away while giving birth to Amir, so he has never seen how his mother actually was. And in the book, there are plenty amount of instances where he tries to remember his mother, because the relation between Amir and his father is not so good. Amir's father, that is Baba, is actually considered to be very strong both mentally and physically, but Amir is not so in the match of his father's status in the sense of courage or strength. So this prompts Amir to think that he's actually worthless, and many relations between Baba and Amir is not so good. So he tries to share most of his emotions with either Hassan or Baba's friend, that is Rahim Khan. He considers Rahim Khan to be his second father, and by this you can actually understand how close Amir and Rahim Khan actually are. Coming to Hassan, Hassan's father Ali actually marries a woman whose name is not revealed in the beginning, and the most unfortunate thing happens is as soon as Hassan is born, he's diagnosed with this head cleft or cleft lip. So his mother doesn't like even to touch him, so she rather elopes with her lover. And this creates a huge commotion among the Afghanistani community, and they talk about Ali, and they pinpoint him, they make fun of him. And Ali was actually a sufferer of polio, so his gait was not so good, and he was always taunted for that. So as these scenarios come across, Amir and Hassan are the most best friends ever. They share everything. They like to share their emotions, experiences, thoughts, and whatnot. Well, actually, because Amir is a Pashtun, he is being educated, and Hassan is a Hazara. He's not given a formal education. So Amir is able to study completely, but Hassan is completely uneducated, because of which he cannot study. Amir pretty much shares what he has learned from the school, and he indeed teaches Hassan. And in that way, Hassan too learns reading Farsi, and he tries to understand the Islamic texts and Quran in a better manner. Well, the most ironic thing in this part is actually Baba is more inclined towards Hassan, and he tries to be more friendly and lovely towards Hassan rather than being more friendly to Amir. So there's this beautiful descriptions about their motherland, their memories. Khaled Hosseini has done a perfect job in actually conveying the readers. While you read, you can actually imagine the whole beauty of Afghanistan, how lovely that place was, how childhood memories of Amir and Hassan were actually intertwined to those lands. And there is this pomegranate trees, there's large fields, and how they have successfully been shooting those trees, shooting the rockets and whatnot. It is every bit of childhood memories, which even will make you think about your childhood. So till here, the book goes pretty well. You just love to read further. The pages are just turning around. But then comes the entrance of the winters. Winters are set in Afghanistan, and there is again this beautiful description about winters, the enticing area, the enticing landscapes, the picturesque areas, and all that completely prompts us to think that, wow, winters are indeed something great. So because of this reason, I have recommended The Kite Runner as one of the winter reads. You can find that video somewhere here or the other thing else. In that way, in every winter, there's a tournament of kite tournament, the kite tournament, and that is being conducted on every winter. It is generally conducted in every street, but something is greater being conducted this year, and in that what is Amir tries to participate. He thinks that if at all he wins, he can actually show up to his father saying that, oh my dad, I have won something great, and I have won the kite festival or the kite tournament. Well, Baba has in his childhood days had won many kite tournaments, so Amir feels that if at all he wins, he would be able to live up to the expectations which Baba has put over Amir. Okay, and with this thought, Amir and Mr. Hassan tries to muster up all the ingredients which they require to perfectly build a kite and a string, so that they can practice and they can, win something. So the most important aspect which you need to know about the kite festival is there's this huge amounts of participation by people who fly their kites in high in the sky, and they need to cut down other kites so as to win. And the last kite, which is actually flying and dangling on the sky, is considered to be the winner. Well, the kite which was already cut down is again claimed by people who run to the falling kite and get that, so that they claim that we have even the kite which was fallen. And the children who actually run behind the kite which was cut down are called the kite runners. So that is what the title is all about. the Kite Runner. And this is a picture, that's the same picture which is represents the kite festival, the kite tournament. Hope so, hopefully this is Amer. And this is the scenario. You can see the winters, you can see the mountain ranges and all that, and that is what is majorly. I guess the book cover was changed plenty of times, so I don't know, this was an old edition and I have this way back. So now coming to the major aspect. In that kite festival, successfully Mr. Amir participates, and Hassan is considered to be a great kite runner. He has this instincts of and prior senses of where the kite would actually fall, and he can grab that and win. So in that manner, Amir is the run. And there's one more opponent, and those two are the ones who are left with the whole tournament, and the expectations are in high, and at last Mr. Amir, our great protagonist, successfully wins, and the kite which was cut down, Hassan goes running behind that, and that is the dialogue where the first quoted text comes, 1,000 times for you. That was the most iconic dialogue, and this is the where there's a plot twist. Well, I have paused at the very plot twist. This video is a part 1 for the whole story of the Kite Runner by Khalid Hosseini. The video goes till the major plot twist of the book, and there's been immense descriptions about that. I have tried to outline the most of the information a reader must priorly know, or they must know, so that they can understand the book in a way better manner. So I have tried to compile all the information which I have obtained. This is the part 1 of the video, and the part 2 of the video will be releasing tomorrow. And I would, if at all with your encouragement, I'll try to make this video even in Hindi, so that people who are not well acquainted with the language which is used in this book can understand it way better. So do mention your thoughts about the video as soon as it completes in the comments below, and make sure you like, comment, share and subscribing my channel, so that I can actually share more book reviews as well as summaries about the books which I have read. Till then, bye bye.